Quadir and Nazir did not unalive themselves. It just didn't happen. They look like two very happy brothers. There's no medical report of anything mental with them. There's no parent or aunt, uncle, or anybody in the family coming out and said, yeah, these were troubled individuals. They had some issues. And here's the record of it, so on and so forth. There's no information like that whatsoever. These two did not do it. Not to mention that Black people on a whole are very superstitious when it comes to, unaliving ourselves. So the whole thing that these boys didn't get on the plane, they still had the plane tickets in their pocket, and they were in an Uber or whatever, and somehow were 90 miles away from where they were last reported and supposed to be. 90 miles. 90 miles, over 2 hours away. Just cruising. We're just going to go off the beaten path. 90 miles. And then in the mountains in Georgia? Listen, there's no sane Black person going up in the mountains in Georgia. We know what happens in the mountains of Georgia. Heck, we know what happens in the mountains everywhere. All right, we're not going up there, especially not alone. And you know what I'm saying, just two of us without any protection whatsoever. No, we don't know. No, you don't do that. You see what happened to the Black Lives Matter people who, decided to go to Virginia and start marching in the streets. What happened? One of them old white people pulled out the jammy and boom, blasted one of them in the face. So no. We know where we belong. We know our area, okay? And that's where we stay. We're like, this is good here. But those two young men know nothing about the mountains of Georgia, said the aunt, and they would not be there. And then Scott, this guy who's a firefighter, goes and takes a picture of the individuals, and then he posted. Now he was already in trouble. Now he's in more trouble, but he's only got misdemeanor charges. And then the police come out and say, "Hey, this it's cut and dry. It's cut and dry. They did this to themselves." No. Whenever the police say that, I automatically start looking at the police because they want to end an investigation. They want to say, boom, that's it. That's all. So we need to wait till the autopsy report comes out. That's for one. We need to see if there's any missing parts, because we know that this is something that has been happening for the longest time. They will unalive a Black person. They'll take their parts and they'll keep it as a trophy. And sometimes they'll eat them. They'll eat the people. So that also happens. We know that some famous people who rebelled got eaten by, Caucasian people. So we know that happens. So we need to see if there's any missing parts. We know that they are already trophy kills because there was pictures taken of them saying, hey, look what we did. They found out that Scott, the firefighter or ex-firefighter, belonged to all kind of organizations that do things like this to Black people. And they're very, very proud of it. So the way I'm looking at this in an investigative manner is, let's start at the airport. Who picked them up? Let's start with the Uber driver. Who picked them up from the airport? Because it's on camera. Your license plate, everything, it's all on camera. It's all recorded. Uber has the recording of it. Let's start with Uber, find out who that person is. And then, if they have Uber, it's a good chance that you can track them through Google. So we can track that vehicle with those two boys in it. We can track them down. We can track them down through their phone. 10-1 says they made a phone call. If they're 2 hours into a drive, these boys don't know where they're going. Yeah, this is done on purpose. These boys were targeted. 100%. These boys were targeted, and that's just it, and that's all. And it all happened at the airport. And what's really crazy is whoever did this is still going to the airport doing stuff like this. Yeah, they're still doing it. And once again, I look at the police. Because when the police close a case like this, the police are involved some kind of way. Am I saying that they did it? I'm saying that they're involved in it. Some kind of fashion, the police are definitely involved. We know have done this to black people before. Let's not be stupid. The police were notorious back in the 70s for, taking little girls and then, unaliving them and then leaving their shoes by the highway just so the parents can, see that, hey, this little girl, your little girl's gone. If you sent your little girl to the store, they would take her, do something to her, then boom, her shoes would be right there. So we know the police are involved in these type of things. They do it all the time. How about that girl that was found at the police station in the back of a van? We know the cops did that. We know that the police do this all the time. That's what they do. So yeah, let's just wait and see. The cops are going to say, hey, we had nothing to do with it. That's not true. You had something to do with it. Yeah, you did. You had something to do with it. You're probably guilty. And nobody's getting away with anything. You guys are going to burn in hell for what you do. And that's it. And that's all. Jesus lives and he's watching everything you do. And that's it. You're going to have to answer to Christ for why you killed his babies.